Hi, and welcome back. If you missed my last video, it was on food and autoimmune disease. So go back and check that out today. I'll try to tag it at the end of this video. So today we're going to talk about things that are a little bit sneakier, and that is sugar. Sugar is not always obvious, and it's not always obvious about what it does. Sugar doesn't just cause like weight gain. We ate too much sugar, so now we have weight gain or type 2 diabetes. That's what we usually hear about. But it also messes with our immune system. So if you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, you have an immune system dysregulation thing going on. And so sugar can definitely mess up with that. So why is it so hard to quit the sugar and what actually helps? That's what we're going to talk about today. And it's not just you need more willpower. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. So comment sugar if you're ready to break up with the roller coaster and get your energy, your mood, and your hormones back in balance, because sugar definitely hijacks our hormones. So it's not just the immune system, it throws off the entire hormonal balance. But sugar isn't evil. We need carbohydrates, and carbohydrates break down into sugar. But it is a problem when your immune system is dysregulated. So here's why sugar and autoimmunity don't always mix. Number one, it spikes your blood sugar. That can trigger inflammation. Well, if you are already fighting autoantibodies, you already have inflammation going on in your body. You have some oxidative stress and possibly some hormonal swings. And so sugar does that. It also suppresses our white blood cells. And so you may see a trend in your blood work. Every time you get blood work, usually your doctor runs a CBC, and you can see if your white blood cells, that's the WBC on your labs, it may tend to always be low. That's maybe you've been fighting autoimmune disease for a while, and that is usually a signal for me when I'm looking at blood work. But it also, sugar can help, which I shouldn't say help, also lowers white blood cells. And so just getting rid of the sugar in your diet can help restore your immune system, bring those white blood cells back up, help your body do a better job at fighting what it's supposed to be fighting and not what it's not. And sugar feeds the wrong microbes in our gut. So that can create dysbiosis. And remember, most of our immune system is in our gut. And so we need to repair any leaky gut if we have autoimmune disease. And we need to cut back on sugar so that we're not creating those harmful pathogens in there. Think about yeast and candida, stuff like that. And sugar also can lead to cortisol, which impacts everything from our thyroid function to our sleep and our mood. And so I'm not just talking about thyroid autoimmune disease, it's pretty much all autoimmune diseases, right? And so you can feel what happens when you've had too much sugar, right? And so not just the foods that create these sugar spikes, but sugar, you have sugar crashes, maybe you're having some intense cravings mid-morning around 10 or mid-afternoon around 3. You have intense cravings for sugar. You just want to go in the fridge and find something that has something sweet. Maybe you have brain fog, flares, autoimmune flares are the worst, and exhaustion. So if that sounds familiar, let me know, comment. I want to hear from you. I love to hear from you. From all of you. You know, if you don't agree with something and say, I want to hear that too. And I love those comments because, I mean, sometimes they make me laugh, but sometimes, you know, I'm not perfect, right? So I want to know. So here's something that I wished we all knew. If you're craving sugar all the time, it's not because you're weak. It's not because of your willpower. It's because your body is out of balance. And so sugar cravings can be a result of blood sugar dysregulation. 93% of Americans are metabolically unwell. Google it. 93%. So only 7% of Americans are metabolically well. That means most of us do have a blood sugar issue going on. Adrenal fatigue, HPAT. So our hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, adrenals, that axis can be dysregulated and create sugar cravings. Like I said earlier, candida, yeast, any of those overgrowths can also lead to sugar cravings. Emotional stress and trauma. How many of us go for a sugary treat if we're stressed out or have something emotional going on? And sometimes it's just a nutritional deficiency. In nature, when man was first on the earth, if they were craving something sweet, what sweet foods would they find? It would be fruit. And fruit is very high in vitamins. And so it could be that you're craving some of those vitamins. So the goal isn't to just stop eating sugar. The goal is to understand why we're reaching for those sugar. What's the underlying cause here? Is it your emotions or is it something else that's dysregulated? When I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, I didn't realize how much sugar I was eating, and it wasn't candy and cookies and things like that. I was using gluten-free breads, gluten-free pasta, and crackers, but then I was also making those gluten-free treats. But those things can spike blood sugar. Those things act like sugar inside the body. If you are drinking almond milk lattes or oat milk lattes, there's usually sugar in there. Oat milk, that can spike your blood sugar. Healthy protein bars, those are usually very high in sugars. Dried fruit, rice pasta. If you think about these gluten-free products are usually made with rice flour, even brown rice flour. It's going to act like sugar in your body. Tapioca flour, potato starch, arrowroot, all of those act like sugar in our body. So I thought I was eating clean. I wasn't feeling good. My auto antibodies were really, really high. And I had these intense cravings. It's because I was eating foods that are healthy, but they really are not healthy and they do not help with blood sugar balancing. So, what are some things we need to hide? Well, obviously, the sugars. If it says sugar, throw it out. Even coconut sugar can be harmful for some people. Now, coconut sugar is supposed to be lower in glycemic, but I would avoid it. Get rid of it for now. Learn to like the other foods without these added sugars, and then maybe you can start adding coconut sugar back in. Anything that's white flour and all the gluten-free flours. I'm sorry, they're not a healthy food. Honey, maple syrup, and like I said, coconut sugar, molasses, those are all natural sugars, but if you're trying to cut back on those cravings, then we need to cut them out for a little while. Oat milk, almond milk, any of those that have added gums. So my number one rule is always read the ingredients. I'm pretty sure I said that in the last video. And so if it has gums, if it has added sugars, we need to toss it out. Juices and smoothies that are high in fruit, we need to focus on those that are higher in greens. And so if you're drinking like a celery juice, that might not spike your blood sugar like an apple juice would, right? Especially store-bought, because those are pasteurized and there's really just straight sugar. Chocolate bars, even dark chocolate, read the ingredients and see. You know, if you can eat a 100% dark chocolate, that's not going to have any sugar in it. Sauces, dressings, condiments, always read the ingredients. What should you be adding in? Those fiber-rich foods, especially those that are non-starchy. And so all of your greens are fabulous and so mineral-rich. There are some fruits that are low glycemic. Berries, I love berries, green apples, kiwi, pomegranate. If you could put a CGM on and wear a CGM for a couple weeks, you can buy them over the counter now, even here in the US. Wear it for a couple of weeks and just see how is your body reacting to your foods. It's a great, great way just to see what is my body doing, because I can eat blueberries just fine, but my friend cannot eat blueberries at all. Blood sugar goes up and down quickly. And so we don't want blood sugar to be going up. We don't want it to go below baseline, because then that shows us there's something going on. Leafy greens, I said, healthy fats, avocados, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, any of these healthy fats that are wonderful for the brain, that are high in omega-3 fatty acids. Those are going to be wonderful to help keeping blood sugar stable. Sprouted lentils and seeds, that's another thing that you may want to test and see how well you do. I can eat like up to a half of a cup of most lentils and beans. If I eat more than that, then my blood sugar is probably going to go up a little bit. But those are so high in B vitamins and things that feed the quote unquote good microbes in our gut. They're just really important for me to eat. Herbs like cinnamon, fenugreek, bitter greens, these all help with the use of insulin in our body and balancing blood sugar, and then staying well hydrated. So you need to drink at least half your body weight in ounces in water every day. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but you don't want to go from no water a day to 2-3 quarts. You will just be peeing it all out. So you need to slowly work your way up. Just increase by half a cup each day, or 1 cup, whatever you can tolerate, until you get to your goal. But that's very important, especially right now. I mean, we're having this huge heat wave. So most of us didn't start having sugar cravings out of nowhere. A lot of us use sugar as a numbing tool. Sometimes we just need more energy and we're craving those things because maybe we've undereaten. But it could be that we're burnt out, we're stressed out. We have those heavy legs. For me, what's my biggest flares? Heavy legs and swollen eyes. But foods that can help, or I mentioned, but we need to add in things like breath work, things like meditation, qigong, and journaling, and even connecting with your community. Those can be so important. Now, for me, I just found qigong about a year ago, and now I'm getting certified to teach it. I love it. For me, I couldn't sit down and just meditate and be quiet. Some people can meditate by drawing or painting or tuning out different ways. For me, it was qigong. So find what can help you rest throughout the day. And it's not just one time a day, taking those little breaks, making sure you're resting before each meal. We have to rest to digest. Anyway, if any of this is resonating with you, I do have a membership, the Culinary Healing Circle, at culinaryhealingcircle.com. I'd love for you to join me. I do food demos, we have a monthly lecture, we have a book club, and we even have a weekly Qigong and a functional fitness with a fabulous fitness trainer every single month. And we talk about things like toxins and blood sugar and all those different things. And I teach you how to make foods that can better serve you and your health. If you'd like to learn more about that, please comment below. Please like and subscribe to my channel and share this with someone you know who struggles with their blood sugar or has autoimmune disease and they just need some more tips to get their health back on track. Anyway, thank you for listening today, and I hope to join you again next